As we begin, we would like to acknowledge that this service is being held by a community that gathers on the stolen traditional lands of the Massachusetts, Nipmuc, Pawtucket, and Wampanoag people. We pay respect to those Indigenous peoples who lost their lives in the colonization of this land, and recognize that these Indigenous tribes are still today facing violations of sovereignty, territory, and water. We also give thanks for the earth we walk upon, the waters, the life-giving plants, and all the earth's creatures, as well as the winds, sun, moon, and stars. We recognize this is just a first step in moving toward right relationship with Native peoples and healing of the earth. Good morning, and welcome to the First Parish Church of Stowe in Acton, FPC, to our members and friends, a welcoming and spiritual community. My name is June McKnight, and I serve on the Worship Committee. If this is your first time with us, we welcome you. Please let us know you are here by filling out one of our visitor information cards in the pews and hand it to an usher, drop it in the plate, or hand it to Meg, our welcoming staff member. We won't add you to any of our email lists unless you check that box to do so. Our minister and staff are listed on the front of the order of service. Please feel free to ask me or any of these people for more information about the church and its programs after the service, or by email or through the chat if you're online. We also invite you to check out our web page for news and information, and you can also sign up there for our newsletter and email alerts. We ask that people remain masked in our sanctuary except in the balcony and in church offices and RE spaces, but the rest of our building is mask optional. Please check with people you're talking to about their comfort levels, and please make sure that the air filters are on when you congregate in any room. If you would like a large print order of service or hymnal, or an assisted listening device, please ask our ushers. Our assisted listening devices are actually small radios that work throughout the building if you would like to listen to the service for another space for any reason. After the service, please join us for coffee and conversation in our fellowship hall, which is one level down at the other end of our building, or in a breakout room if you're joining us online. I'd like to draw your attention to the announcements in our order of service, as well as information about how to sign up for our email lists and newsletter. I have one announcement from the auction committee. The auction is coming. Today is the deadline for donating items or services to the auction. Stop by the auction table during coffee hour to do so. You can also sign up to bring appetizers and desserts to bring to the auction. Today we are joined by Reverend Megan Lynes. Reverend Lynes grew up UU in the Boston area and was ordained in 2008 by the Congregation of Canton, Massachusetts, where she did her student ministry. Megan's ministry has included serving as a chaplain at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, 9 years as the parish minister of the First Parish in Bedford, and 2 years as the Minister of Faith Formation at the First Church in Sterling, Mass. She took a break during the pandemic to stay home with her 3-year-old son full-time, and is now serving another contract year with First Parish in Bedford. Megan is a single mom by choice and lives in Stowe with her best friend, her son Jesse, 2 cats, and 6 chickens. And now I invite you to greet your neighbor.
Good morning. Hello. Good morning. As you may know, I'm Brad Dumont. I'm the director of music here. And before we sing our Introit, which is number 390 in the book, if you want to join us, you can feel free. I just want to point out that the next several weeks we do not have Sung-hee Kim with us. She's recovering from this week's medical procedures, and she'll be out for several weeks. I say that in some ways to say that if you hear me playing the piano poorly, I wish I wasn't either. So feel free to sing strong on all of the hymns so that we can cover up all of my beautiful mistakes. Just a heads up.
Gaudeamus, Gaudeamus, Gaudeamus Hodie. Gaudeamus, Gaudeamus Hodie. Gaudeamus, Gaudeamus
You sound lovely even from behind. Our opening words this morning are responsive, are to be read responsively, so I invite you to open your hymnal to number 437. Let us worship with our eyes and ears and fingertips. Let us love the world through heart and mind and body. We feed our eyes upon the mystery and revelation in the faces of our brothers and sisters. We seek to know the wistfulness of the very young and the very old, the wistfulness of people in all times of life. We seek to understand the shyness behind arrogance, the fear behind pride, the tenderness behind clumsy strength, and the anguish behind cruelty. All life flows into a great common life, if it will only open our eyes to our companions. Let us worship not in bowing down, not with closed eyes and stopped ears. Let us worship with the opening of all the windows of our beings, with the full outstretching of our spirits. Life comes with singing and laughter, with tears and confiding, with a rising wave too great to be held in the mind and heart and body, to those who have fallen in love with life. Let us worship and let us learn to love. And our chalice lighting this morning is one that some of us have memorized because they are so commonly used. They are my favorite. The words of Albert Schweitzer. And I need to learn where your chalice is. Ah. June is going to light our chalice, I think. But Marissa was at the ready, so we're good. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by the spark from another person. Let us have cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us. June, would you like to come up and we'll share in the words of our affirmation? You know what? I goofed. I skipped an entire hymn. I apologize. We're going to sing, and it's going to be great. Number 347, Gather the Spirit, and I invite you to rise as you are willing and able. And now please join me in our covenant and affirmation. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law.
This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Oh, hello, Benny.
Hi. Oh, hi. This is a lot of people out there.
Yeah, that's true. This is the first parish of Stowe and Acton.
Whoa. Well, that's great. But you said there'd be kids.
Yeah, I think there's kids. I think they're out there somewhere, Benny.
Oh, I came for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to love them. I want to give them a gift. I want to be friends. But, where are they?
I don't know, Benny. You can't make someone love you by giving them a gift. It doesn't work like that.
Oh. Well, I still want to know them. Are they coming up?
Well, in some churches, they do. Are you hoping they come up here?
Yeah, really. Are you out there? Will you come up? There's pillows and stuff. Will you come up? If you're a kid or you feel like a kid?
That's a good idea, Benny. You could invite him up. That's good.
Oh my goodness. They are here. Oh, they're coming. Oh, yeah. Oh, hi. Yay. So glad to see you. Yeah, I love to, hi. Oh, hello. Oh, they're waving at me. Hey, they're waving at me.
That's great, Benny. So, I know you want to give gifts and stuff, but, not everyone wants to receive a gift. You never know.
Oh, but I brought, whoa. Oh my goodness. I've heard a lot about you. Are you the church frog?
Yes, I am the church frog. My name is Rebecca.
Oh, Rebecca. It's really nice to meet you. I saw it in writing. It looked like a Rebecca.
No, it's Rebecca.
Oh my gosh, this is great. I like it. My name is Benny.
Hi.
I'm an otter.
Nice to meet you. I'm a frog.
Oh, cool. Okay, so that's awesome. So, we both like water, and I think I know what kind of gift I'm going to give you. Oh, hey. So anyway, I'm going to give you a gift. It's my favorite kind. I went to the bottom of the lake, and I dug up. Hold on. Let me get it. It's in here somewhere. It's my magic bag. Here it is. Stinky mud.
Oh, I can smell it from here. Wow, thank you.
Yeah, here it is. It's a present. It's my favorite kind.
Okay.
It smells foul. Here you go, Rebecca.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Benny, I know that was a really somewhat thoughtful present. You might want to think, like, what does the person getting the gift like to get?
Oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah. I don't know. I heard about, like, if you want to make friends, you can use words of appreciation as a love language. So let me practice. Hold on. Rebecca, I got the name right, I hope. That's my intention. So I really like your small eyes.
Oh, nobody's ever said that to me before. Well, thank you.
I like, yeah, I like your bumps.
My bumps? Oh, yes. Okay, thank you.
Oh, wait, I got a good one. These, you guys might like this. Hold on. I like your long legs.
My legs?
Oh, wait a second. Well, if you guys said my legs were long, I'd be happy because they're just not. But I don't see any legs. Okay. Well, I have a better idea. Have you ever heard of like acts of service? I like that kind of. You might really like that. Hold on, I got something. One sec. I'm gonna go in my magic bag. Hold on, what do we got here? Acts of service. Something I can do that's nice for you. Yeah, I don't know if you'll like this, but I think it's pretty cool. Hold on. I got it. Well, I know I don't really see any legs over there, but what about this? I just paint your toenails pink.
It's a nice idea, but I just don't think that's gonna work. Maybe you should do it first.
Oh no, I don't really like that because, no, forget it. I don't like nail polish either. The fish bite my feet when I do that. Forget it. That was a bad idea. I know. I've been thinking. Well, I mean, I gotta ask the kids. Do you guys have any thoughts on what I could do if I want to make friends with Rebecca? Oh yes. Thank you for. Oh my. She said. That I could ask her if she would like to be friends with me. What a great idea. I didn't think of that, really. Thanks for that one. Oh, there's another idea. Okay, cool.
Maybe you should give her some flies.
Give her flies? Oh my God. Yeah, we should take the lid off that stinky mud right now and attract them. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good plan. This is the best idea yet. I was thinking I super like this idea. I have one idea about like ways of expressing my affection could be like, if I want to be friends, I could just give a giant hug like this. Ready? Are you ready? Hold on. Actually, hold on. How about like this? Whoa, Benny, back up a sec. I kind of like the idea the kids had better than that latest one. That was a little rambunctious. Yeah, that was a little rambunctious. That was really good though. So forget that. Are you into it?
Well, I like hugs sometimes, but you know what? We can be friends. You don't have to give me a hug. You don't have to give me a gift. We could just spend time together, see what we both like to do.
But that's what she said. That was really smart. That's cool. Like, okay, well, what do you all like to do and stuff?
Well, one thing I like to do with these kids is play flashlight tag.
What? Are you into that? She says yes. She says yes. Flashlight tag? Are you into flashlight tag? Some other people are all raising their hands. I would like it too. Can I?
Yeah,
be part
you
of
can
that?
play with us.
Oh my gosh, great. Oh my gosh, this is great. So we'd have like a shared hangout friendship time. Oh my gosh, I wish this is the best. Yeah! I love this. This is so cool. And my magic bag, I know what to do. I like to give gifts. You like to play. And I like to play too. Hold on, I'm going to get inside my magic bag and see what I got. You never know what it produces. Whoa, once it was underwear, no one wanted that present. Whoa, here we go. An ice cream scooper, forget it. No, I already tried the nail polish. I know, here we go. Yeah. Oh my, whoa. Oh, ha.
That's great.
Shining a new
Nice.
eye. Yeah. Is this a good idea?
That's a great idea.
Oh, Benny, this is so good. So, you know what I really liked that just happened? Well, you thought about asking the kids, and they had great ideas. And you wanted to give gifts. That was your love language. I'll turn it off for now. And everyone here wanted to share in the experience of playing, and you kind of found a happy medium.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so neat. I'm so glad to be here. Can I make my bag multiply and give a lot of flashlights?
If you can do it, Benny, that's great. How many kids are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Any other adults that are feeling kiddish? It happens. All right, ready? Okay, my whole bag. I'm going to give this bag to Marissa, and she's going to give all the presents to all of you guys. And thank you for having me here and for sharing our love languages in different ways together. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Benny. It's so great to have a new friend. While we give out the flashlights, I would like to ask Henry, would you light our lantern? And we'll give you a flashlight too. Thank you.
Our petitions this morning are for Dan in hospice, for all those suffering from COVID, and all those who have known a loss related to COVID or a loss in general. We pray for those facing cancer, illness, or pain. We pray with grateful thanksgiving for those young people home from college, and to the great universe of joy for an expedition to the city out of state, for a release from the confines of this pandemic that has kept us all at home and so small. We give thanks for babies born among us. And we remember well. We have loved well, and we remember well, bringing flowers here in honor of people we have loved and will remember. And to these petitions, we add all those in our minds and hearts that remain inside our heart. And I share with you also this poem by Pablo Neruda called Keeping Quiet. Now we will count to 12, and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victories with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it's about. I want no truck with death. If we were single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count to 12, and you keep quiet, and I will go. Amen. Our hymn is number 83, Winds Be Still. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Our reading this morning is by Carter Hayward, an American feminist, theologian, and priest in the Episcopal Church. Actually, she passed away a number of years back, so she's no longer with us, but her thoughts stay with us. We are not automatic lovers of self, others, world, or God. Love does not just happen. We are not love machines, puppets on the strings of a deity called love. Love is a choice, not simply or necessarily a rational choice, but rather a willingness to be present to others without pretense or guile. Love is a conversion to humanity, a willingness to participate with others in the healing of a broken world and broken lives. Love is the choice to experience life as a member of the human family, a partner in the dance of life, rather than as an alien in the world or as a deity above the world, aloof and apart from human flesh.
And now it's time to share our gifts. As you'll see in your order of service and the material in the order of service, this month we are sharing our weekly offering with the Southeast India Foundation. So if you have some cash, that's great. We will gratefully receive that. You can also make a check out to First Parish Church, and there's also an online option for our Zoom friends. Thank you.
Everything
That sounded wonderful. It just sounded so good. And I was behind you all, so I know it sounded even more astounding from the front. I am so grateful to be here this morning. I know Reverend Cindy in this very specific way. Ministers across the nation, but really the world, most of us are in this Facebook group of colleagues. And, you know, on Facebook, we're just not at our best. And so people can get really mean sometimes. And she is the most astounding administrator of that list. She keeps us all in check with such respect and kindness, and also holding us to this high degree of the way that we treat one another. And so I've personally benefited from her, the way that she will ask one person to knock it off and another person to speak. And she just, she's great. And so I was honored when she said, would I like to come and preach here? So I do want to say thank you to her, and thank you to Brad for choosing music so beautifully that matched the themes of this service, and to Marissa for saying yes to a legless frog script, and to June for hosting me and us so beautifully this morning. Sorry, my goof, and forgetting our opening hymn. And thank you to all of you for welcoming me this morning. I bring you greetings from the First Parish in Bedford, up the street. So first of all of us made it here to church on time, and we are the ones who did it. Yes, we win. We already have not screwed up yet today, so that's great. I feel sad for the folks walking in at the start of coffee hour. We promised to welcome them, right? They feel chagrined, and we're going to say welcome, right? That's been us on many other occasions, that accidental hour. And I am so glad that spring seems to be around the corner. Do you remember that bitter, cold stretch of days we had a month or two ago? It was just unbelievably cold. I swore that I would never bring my chickens in from the cold because they are really fine outside. They're like wild birds. They fluff themselves up, and they have 4 layers of feathers. And so I said I would never do it, but their hen house is unheated, and it was to be the coldest night of my life. And so late one evening, I found myself carrying them inside to the mudroom. And the temperature difference was 80 degrees from -12 outside to 68 inside. And they relaxed, and they shook themselves out, and they purred. And my heart melted for them. You know, chickens purr, right? They purr. So this sermon is titled Love Languages Redux. And I think purring should have been given its own spot on the short list. Like Benny and his stinky pile of mud or pink nail polish, there are so many ways to express and receive love. It varies person to person, and it varies across communities and cultures. And church life itself is its own microcosm of offerings and needs. And yet, here we all are together, the ones who woke up early and handed out the bulletins, welcomed in the stranger, breathed together as we sang through our masks, and kept quiet together with Pablo Neruda's prayer. And we just are here, being alive together. I will also say, those of you on Zoom, you are here too. The pandemic has tried to keep us apart, but you showed up, you said yes, and you're on Zoom, but you're here, right here, with all of us. Is that right? Yeah. The ways that we all figure out to tune in to ourselves and to each other's make us, as the Apostle Paul would say, all members of one body. And Thich Nhat Hanh would also have said it similarly. He talked about how the right hand banging in the nail that misses and smashes the left hand, the first instinct is not to do anything blameworthy, but instead to grab the aching thumb and with tenderness and compassion embrace it close to the heart. In our own covenantal language, hard as things may get, we belong to one another. My step-grandmother was born during the Great Depression and grew up with butter that was actually vegetable shortening. Anyone remember that? And it was like made of something white, I guess lard, and someone would vegetable shortening, and you'd squeeze a packet of yellow food coloring into it and mush it around and make it look like yellow butter again. Her parents were very, very poor and also, I believe now, alcoholic. And when I say my grandma worked hard from a young age, I mean it. She grew up to be a teacher, a physics teacher, a single parent of 3 boys, and by the time I knew her, if she wasn't grading papers, scrubbing something, or fixing something electronic, she was probably asleep. She was simply always at work. Her personality was no nonsense and frugal, qualities that I admire. I loved her, but I found her difficult to relate to as well. Among other things, she was a born-again Christian and wanted to save me. In divinity school, I lived in her basement for 3 years, and suddenly, out of frustration and curiosity, I found myself trying to understand her on a deeper level. One day at the local library, I checked out the book, The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Anyone read that? It's kind of dated, but it's got merit to it. I figured it couldn't possibly only be about lovers, and it was not in many ways. I'm sure that a lot of you have read it or get the general concept. It oversimplifies things, but it was very helpful to me back then, and it's been helpful many times since when I've scratched my head about why it's hard to relate to someone. The 5 love languages refer to the way in which individuals feel and express love and affection towards others. These languages are gift-giving, words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, and quality time. As the kids really aptly pointed out, let's figure out together what we can do together that is fun and meaningful to all of us. Understanding one's own preferred love language as well as that of their partner or grandma can lead to a stronger and more fulfilling relationship. They provide a framework for people to understand and communicate their emotional caring or needs within a relationship. Interestingly, our preferred way of giving and receiving love may be completely different love languages. For a long time, I thought that her love language was acts of service. She would anticipate that I needed to leave for school on time, and she would warm up my car while I was in the shower. Before that, she would probably have taken all of our trash to the dump and fed my cat and straightened all my shoes on the shelf outside my door. And I felt rushed and judged and late before my feet had even swung out of bed. She wanted to be good at tending to me, caring for me, but the thing she really wanted to be good at was gift giving. But she was actually pretty awful at it. She couldn't match what we would like. And she would start in January and she'd make lists of things that she thought we might like for Christmas. But by the time Christmas rolled around, she didn't think her list made any sense. And every year she would give each of us a separate but different hot off the press Jesus video. And our somewhat Unitarian and atheist family was like, oh, thank you. I thought that at first, in return, if I reciprocated with acts of service, because that seemed to be her natural go-to, It's what she just did the most easily. That I thought that if I did that too in her direction, she would feel my love going towards her. So I'd work hard to get up early and shovel the snow off the walk. And then later, if there was anything left in the trash can, I would try to take it to the dump. And I was not met with, it didn't land for her. And it turned out that if I did those things, I was just contributing to the upkeep of family life. So it didn't land as something that touched her heart. I needed to understand that what caught her off guard and melted her was my hug, or a warm hand on her shoulder. She craved touch. Her parents had never really hugged her. She married young and divorced quickly. And touch and hug, she wished for it, but she had never really known it. She also adored words of affirmation. She never expected it, and it swept her off her feet. So if I could walk up to her, extend my arms, it had to come from a real place within me, but I would reach my arms and say, "Huggies!" It was so beautiful. Her face just melted and her eyes lit up as if the sun was just shining from within, and we were golden. And I will never forget the year I needed a stole for Christmas. I had taken this one to the cleaners, and I had forgotten to pick it up in time enough to wear it for Christmas Eve. But in a day and a half, my grandmother found all the old curtains she had saved for probably 50 years. And she created this beautiful white, maybe off-white cream stole with 2 little golden crosses, with the tiniest stitches around each cross. She was so proud of her perfect gift, and I love it too. I wear it once a year on Jesus' birthday and remember my step-grandmother, how much she loved Jesus and how much she loved me. Gary Chapman writes that by prioritizing and practicing the love languages that resonate with both partners, individuals can deepen their emotional connection and improve the overall health of their relationship. So, will you try something with me? You don't have to, and it's not a quiz, and no one will know if you're even trying or not. But I invite you to think for a moment of someone in your life that you spend a good amount of time with. A partner, a parent, your kid, a colleague. And picture their face. Is it coming to mind? Okay. And now picture that they have just offered you something that makes you light up from within. And if something came to you, I welcome you to just call it out. A hug. Saying, I love you. Rubbing your feet.
Brought me my tea. Brought me my mug of tea.
Oh, they brought you your mug of tea. I heard something about false teeth, which could have been a gift also, but these masks are so funny.
Helping to laugh.
Helping her to laugh. Spending time together. A new book. Oh. Listening.
Watching our favorite shows.
Watching your favorite shows, yes.
Eating.
Eating. Someone said eating? Eating. Yeah. Yeah, so many of these resonate with me as well. And then in reverse, what do you love to offer someone you love? What comes the easiest just happens and you love to do it? Cookies? Is that what you said? Hugs. Yeah.
Sharing memories.
Sharing memories. Touch.
Appreciation.
Appreciation. Yeah. And I appreciate your willingness to share these aloud. Thank you. A couple of weeks ago, I arrived at the First Parish in Bedford where I serve for a cleanup day. And I was very late because my 3-year-old had fallen asleep in the back of the car on the way over. And I sat there feeling terrible about my ineffective contribution to the collaborative effort. I think the suggested date was from me in the first place, so I really felt bad coming in the door. And I was swept up, to my surprise, in this engaged, happy energy. Our board president was way at the top of a ladder cleaning some windows in the common room, and our resident astronomer was delighting in sorting out all of the fair trade chocolate from the back closet. And within 1 minute, Jesse, my son Jesse, was happily spraying up a storm all over the lower cabinets in the kitchen with a squirt bottle. And it was because our kitchen maven had welcomed him in like a fire chief, glad for backup with the extra hose. Everyone had a job, and I wondered aloud what mine should be. How can I be helpful? I asked. Well, do what you love doing. Everywhere needs something, the kitchen maven said. And that wisdom is why she is in charge on Sundays in the kitchen. And I love that. It was an invitation to use whatever love language I wanted to add to the dance of bees in the hive on a busy Sunday. My one job, really, then was to know what would bring me joy to do. Anyone else hate those drips that fall down the wall in a bathroom at church where people shake their hands and they go like this and the drip? Oh, those are so nasty. This is so gross. Oh. So I hate that. And I decided that was my jam. And I got the spray and I got the cleaning cloth and it looked so good afterwards. I was just really happy to do that. And I walked back into the kitchen a little bit later, and Jesse, who's so anxious to be apart from me in almost any moment because he's a pandemic kid, was in there still spraying up a storm, and the kitchen maven was going, "Oh, buddy, that looks awesome. That's so great." And he was like, beside himself, so happy. And words of affirmation are absolutely Jesse's, and I realize probably my own most favorite love language to receive. And I kind of thought in that moment, like, purr, how the chickens are. Martin Buber, the 20th century Jewish philosopher and religious thinker, believed in a type of love that he referred to as I-thou love. This type of relationship involves a deep and genuine connection between two individuals, characterized by mutual respect, empathy, and a sense of unity. Buber believed that in this type of love, one sees the other person as a unique and valued individual rather than simply as an object to be used for one's own needs. In contrast, he described I-it relationships as those in which individuals view each other as objects to be used rather than as subjects to be respected. It's actually more complicated. His book is so deep and at times overwhelming to read, but this was a tiny summation. All actual life is encounter. I require a you to become, becoming an I say you. All real living is meeting, Buber said, meaning that life is essentially about making connections with others. Through these relationships, individuals can experience a sense of fulfillment and meaning in life. Buber also said that the only way to the thou is through the I. And I'll say that the word thou, it sounds so lofty when translated into English, but as I understand it, in German, it's a soft form of the word you, like a friendly, warm du, I think, and someone can correct me if it's not right. But I do think that this changes the way we understand, as if we are tender with all others. This highlights the idea that self-awareness and self-reflection are necessary precursors to the true connection with others. Buber believed that in order to engage in authentic, meaningful relationships with others, we must first be able to understand and express our own thoughts and feelings and experiences. Only through this process of self-discovery and self-expression can we hope to truly connect with others and experience the deeper sense of connection and fulfillment that comes from an I-thou relationship. There's a song I like by the 90s band called Bare Naked Ladies. And if that didn't wake you up, now you're awake. I'm pretty sure that's why they picked their name recent. Actually, it gets attention. Because actually they're a pretty tame band. And they have this song that is called For You. And I love it because it reminds me that playing small or hiding one's true self really just serves no one at all. In a book, in a box high upon a shelf, in a locked and guarded vault, are the things I keep only for myself. It's your fate, but it's not your fault. And for every useless reason I know, there's a reason not to care. If I hide myself wherever I go, am I ever really there? Buber defined tragedy as two people of opposing views having insufficient resources to bridge the gap in their perspectives. He felt the life of dialogue, as he called it, is the core means of confirming another as a person, despite opposing views. In the I-thou relationship, the emphasis is on the present moment and the connection between two individuals. I am changed for knowing you, and you come to know yourself more deeply because we exist in relationship. Last week, I watched Jesse on a seesaw for the first time. He had to follow the lead of a companion he'd only just that moment met. "Come here," she said. She modeled going slow so that no one was thumped down. They took turns pushing off from the ground and used eye contact to check out the other's intentions. Jesse was almost in a trance as he learned, joy spreading across his face, how to do this. They were up and down in tandem. Up, down, up, down. It's working. You are tending to us, and I am tending to us, and I trust you, and this is fun. It was the most beautiful dance. And I thought, this is what Buber meant. Each of us here today, in person and online, has or can have a meaningful relationship with everyone else here. This church is buzzing. I can feel it from walking in the door. It's a hive of beautiful relationships, or relationships yet to be. Someone cleaned these windows by hand so that the light can pour in on all of us. The beautiful dance of offering our best and being open to receiving from others is where the soul of this congregation lives. We need to try not to tuck ourselves away. And if we are lucky enough to know what our love language is, whatever it is, bring it here. Post-COVID, if we can call it post-COVID, which I think in many ways we really cannot, church membership in the United States has fallen below the majority for the first time in our history. Mainline Protestant churches are rapidly closing their doors across the nation. The ones still open have 10 to 20 people in attendance each Sunday with an average age of 75. And yet, the Bureau of Labor Statistics just published a survey asking people where is their happiest, most meaningful place on earth. And do you know what they said? Their number one answer was places of worship. That's hopeful, right? Yeah. Our anthem this morning that we heard just a moment ago reminds us that there is a time for all things, a time to build up and a time to break down, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. All our lives we are cultivating I-thou relationships. In the context of our church community, this means fostering a culture of respect and empathy where everyone feels valued and needed and heard, where we look each other in the eye and say, "Good morning, I am so glad that you are here." Or, "Let's start over, shall we? I'm ready to listen better this time." Whether it's through Sunday services, small groups, or volunteering, Buber says all real living is meeting. Love and connection with others is at the heart of human experience. At the end of the day, here we all are, just us chickens, showing up to scratch and peck and dance and purr. May it be so. Amen. And our closing hymn, you guessed it, Let It Be a Dance, number 311. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Our closing words are by Theodore Parker. Be ours a religion which, like sunshine, goes everywhere. Its temple, all space. Its shrine, the good heart. Its creed, all truth. Its ritual, works of love. Its profession of faith, divine living. May it be so. Amen.